The government has been trying to get these persons to contact the health ministry to report on their health status and self-quarantine at home. However, Dr. Bailey says the government needs to go further.
And my opinion, too, is that it should not only be identified, but I'm a serious proponent of testing. They should be tested and then quarantined and then retested in 14 days in order to determine if they are in fact carriers of the virus. Because as I told you back in the middle of March, there's compelling evidence around the world that asymptomatic persons can in fact spread the virus.
Dr. Bailey is not in agreement with the idea of self-quarantine.
I think persons who are at risk should be quarantined under the government's control. They should have controlled quarantine, I think.
Why you don't believe in involuntary quarantine?
Because as a rule, human beings are difficult. And my take on the matter, and I'm speaking to you now from Trelawney, a significant number of the persons in Trelawney that speak with really do not take this thing seriously. They don't. And I'm convinced that despite all the bad news coming from overseas, a large percentage of Jamaicans still do not really believe that COVID-19 is a clear and present danger.
Dr. Bailey says the government should have been monitoring all persons who came into the island recently, starting with the flight on which the first patient who tested positive for COVID-19 arrived. In the meantime, Dr. Bailey says the health ministry should be testing healthcare workers every 2 weeks.
What I'd like them to do is to also target healthcare providers. I think all healthcare providers on the front line should in fact be tested now and be tested every 2 weeks, because we want to not only determine if they're healthy, but we want to identify those who might be infected so that they can be removed from the front line, because we would not want a healthcare provider to necessarily infect those that he or she cares for.
He was speaking Monday on Beyond the Headlines. The health ministry has launched a wide-scale search for more than 4,000 people who arrived in Jamaica after March 18 and have not reported to the authorities. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says persons who have not reported will be placed in state quarantine and charged with a criminal offense. Javon Keys, Frontline News.